This really is a graveyard of these old cargo carriages right now. We're a few hundred meters away from the port of Constanza. And the plan is that this won't only support with the Ukrainian shipments that are coming in, but also that it will help rejuvenate this area for the future.
Each of the graves here has a number on it so that the families can come and find out exactly where their loved one has been buried. It is an extremely sad and extremely powerful scene. And the reality of this earthquake is that this is just one graveyard like this. Pretty much every city in the region has a similar one.
A weaker ruble is actually good for the Russian economy. It's heavily dependent on oil and gas exports. Those commodities are traded in dollars, meaning Russia gets more rubles for those sales. One of the hardest things for the men living in this camp is that they simply don't know when they're going to be able to leave. The police block the one road exiting and entering this camp, and while that's the case, they're stuck.
We all want to take flights, we want to see the world, we want to go everywhere, but there is a sort of growing green conscience among the public. How do people weigh that up?
Indeed, so the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has held a press conference here following a meeting with the Arab League, a meeting between Russia and the Arab League here in Moscow. Now, Sergei Lavrov said that he expects the UN Security Council to endorse this agreement later. I've been reporting on the issues on the border for a number of months now, and this is the closest I've been able to get to the border. Just over there, maybe 300 meters away, is the border fence.
Pretty much all of the corn that's coming into the port of Constanza is from Ukraine at the moment. This boat is headed from here, though, to Rotterdam.
While we know that she's going to request the extension, we don't know how long it's going to be. Also significantly, end of May, European elections. Now moving on, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson is due to unveil his plan for the country's coronavirus vaccine rollout later this evening. This means that this investigation is very likely to get much, much broader. There will be some very nervous people in Brussels and probably around the world.
I want asylum in Poland.
Sir, can you tell us whether they will be given the fair process to asylum that they deserve?
Big eruptions of violence in two specific locations that started relatively early on in that protest. And then they also moved into the European quarter of Brussels. We understand that there were 35,000 people on the streets.
On top of these waters being dirty and treacherous, this is also the busiest shipping channel in the world. But until now, that hasn't prevented people from boarding flimsy boats and trying to make their way to the UK. It's so frequent that the staff here at Krakow University Hospital have set up special pathways that go underground straight from this ward to the ICU. Hi Rosie, as you can see I'm stood outside of the White House. There's a lot of action here, lots of discussions, lots of people. I'm live on TV, so if you want to, would you like to, please don't swear, thank you. By the way. Sorry Rosie, as you can see there's a lot of emotion in this city right now. These security forces behind me are blocking the route of the opposition protesters who are trying to make their way down the road towards the National Electoral Council of Venezuela. This new way of doing these kinds of heart surgeries is said to greatly improve the recovery period for the patient. And crucially, if it becomes common practice, it would also make it significantly cheaper. This model retails for around $27,000, and the price is going to go up with the measures. But the European Union is also imposing tariffs on things like oranges, whiskey, denim jeans, and also pleasure boats. The fires burning this camp to the ground are a very definite end to the Calais jungle, but what's uncertain are the futures of the people that have lived here. This is a clean filter that this company uses, and this is one that's done the mileage of an average taxi in a big European city in just one day. And this is what comes out. Companies like this say the discussion shouldn't only be about exhaust fumes, but also preventing these kind of particulates coming into our lungs.